We're back.
We're painting with our period blood again.
No, we're not.
Okay, we're not.
We're not doing that.
Just kidding, we're drinking it.
Oh, we're not doing it, but we are doing other period stuff.
Because dealing with period blood can sometimes be tricky, especially when you're trying not to get it on anything.
So this cycle, we're gonna see if we can make it through our entire period
without getting period blood on anything.
It's Ladylike, and this week we're trying to have leak-free periods.
So this week, Chantel and I are trying to get through our entire period without bleeding on a damn thing. I can confidently say I have never made it through a period without leaking.
I can't remember a time where I actually went completely leak-free on any form of clothing or linen.
You know, it's not the end of the world if you leak a little bit. It's the end of the world if you leak like through your pants, and I've done that before.
The only pairs of undies that I have that are completely unscathed are ones that I have not worn while being on a period.
Typically I use tampons mostly, but ever since painting with my period blood and having to collect it with a Diva cup, I've been using my Diva cup religiously.
Sometimes we're off-site, on set, and it's not a situation that I could be running to the bathroom every 2 hours. And so once I started switching over to the Diva cup, I was like, this is great, because I've been using it for like a year now, and sometimes I guess I twist properly, and sometimes I guess I don't twist enough. So I tweeted out a Twitter poll and asked people if they had ever made it through a period without bleeding onto something. And most people said no.
When I saw that she made a Twitter post about that, I was like, this is a video. This needs to be a video. So we waited a month until our lady time circled back to us. Here we are, bleeding again, not pregnant, thank you very much. Woo.
Can we do it? Can it be done?
I'll commit to this.
The week starts whenever I get my period, which I think is going to be in a week. I have no concern, I will be getting my period. Not dating a man.
I'm about to take off. I just started my period.
So I was in Ohio for a family wedding and flying back July 3rd. I'm on the plane, the pilot comes on and he's like, sorry about this, but we're gonna have to wait for about 45 minutes. Right then, I started my period. I just had to sit there in my seat because it's against federal law to get out of your seat when the seatbelt sign is on. So I was trapped. I just bled through the sky. It was just me flying over America, just bleeding. But if we're gonna start the challenge when I got home with actual period products, I think I did okay.
I was at an Airbnb for the holiday, and there was a pool. You know, everyone was just in like short shorts and bathing suits. And I got my period on day 2 of that. I'm up in the mountains right now, and I'm not able to drive to go and get like pads and all that stuff. All I have is my Diva cup, so I was like, what the heck, that takes up no room, I might as well pack it. So with the Diva cup, if you don't twist it when you're putting it in, then it has a lot of potential to start like leaking. So I'm gonna try to be very, very conscious of the correct twist method, especially since I don't have any other blood armor with me at the moment. I've gotten very, very good at being able to tell the exact moment that my period arrives. So like I was sitting playing Mario Kart and I was like, I just got my period. So I ran into the bathroom and got it all taken care of before I leaked onto anything. I also readjusted my Diva cup and I'm now about to go swimming. Like I already had to deal with the bloat, but now I had to deal with bloat, cramps, actual period, water, swimming, bikini.
And period poops.
And period poops. So a lot of women say that when they go in water, be it the shower, the pool, the ocean, the flow of their period actually stops. I have literally bled onto my bathing suit while swimming, while having a period product inside my body. Welcome to day 2 of my period. I am now back at home, so I'm still using my Diva cup. However, I have panty liners. Question.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone through an entire period without getting blood on anything?
No way.
How many articles of clothing do you think get ruined or at least tainted in some sort of way?
At least one. Bedding.
Office chairs, maybe?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Are you speaking from experience?
This hasn't been like a very heavy period, This has just been a very crampy period.
Have you ever gone through an entire period cycle without getting blood on anything?
Probably. I probably have been able to pull that off. It's hard. If you really want to avoid getting anything, you just sort of have to spend more because I feel like you need to use like more than one product.
Wings really help me out in terms of making sure that everything stays contained. Other than that, I haven't had any like disastrous situation.
Obviously, this becomes like a murder scene when it's period time, just like all of this.
Usually with the Diva Cup, you can like change it in 12 hours. This time, about every other time I went to the bathroom, I emptied her and did a little cleanup job.
I'm about to go and check any bit of leakage onto the pad. How does that happen? So day 3, I went over to my parents' house and was playing with their puppers, Frank and Linda. And they, of course, noticed that I was on my period. Heads went straight to the vagina. I was like, fine, this is natural. No leakage. Day 3 is usually pretty tame, is kind of like wrapping up. And then it's just kind of like the brown blood for the next like 2-3 days. But it's also a very hot day, and so it's hard to tell if it's sweat or if I'm leaking. So the first 3 days of my period are pretty much like the heaviest flow, and then 4 and 5 are just like kind of light. Here are the white undies that I did not get anything on.
I wasn't, shooting or working or, doing a bunch of things. I was just kind of like lying around. Had my period fallen on a regular work week, I think I would have used a lot more mental energy.
Here's a tour of everything I've bled on in my house. That, bled on this before, 95% of these. And quite possibly the weirdest thing I've ever bled on is that. That's my cat's blanket. That's where he sleeps, his little perch.
I had a very rocky start to my period. I feel like this period's been pretty good.
So day 4 is when stuff happened a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but it was definitely there, and my underwear is definitely stained now. So I was like, all right, you go into the period rotation pile. I basically buy new underwear once every single pair of underwear has been tainted.
I worked out, went to a yoga class, I sneezed a lot on this period, I've yawned, and I really haven't had too many like outbursts.
Sometimes when I'm running or I exercise vigorously, like it restarts secret period, like an Easter egg in a video game. But not today.
I thought for sure I was gonna leak through on the yoga class just because you're bending all around, and I didn't know how my Diva Cup would handle that. Honestly, she did great. She just was like holding tight in there, so.
I wasn't entirely successful in this challenge, but I've done worse. So I still have yet to make it through a period without getting blood on anything, but I am getting closer. This week taught me, yet again, that if you try hard enough, you can do anything you set your mind to, but sometimes you might not want to set your mind to that because you have other stuff going on, and that's okay.
There are 3 awful places in which you can start your period. A shark tank, that's the number 1. You never want to start your period when you're in a tank of sharks. Number 2 is in an IKEA with no bathrooms in sight. And the number 1 worst place to start your damn period is on a plane about to take off. So technically I lost this competition, but had I not had such a rocky start, I would have won. So leak-proof period, lady tested, lady, we did that, cool, and me and Devin tied. Mwah, mwah.
Stay tuned for our next period challenge.
We're drinking it this time.
Womp womp.